I'm so glad to see you again. So glad to be with you again. I suppose when I say I'm glad to see you, that is a kind of misuse of language, isn't it? Because I can't see you physically. I do see you in my heart, however, and I'm glad to be with you again. I want to tell you what's on my desk, not the work that's on my desk. I'd like to forget that for a few moments. But under the glass on my desk are several things that are special to me, mementos of one kind or another. For example, there are 2 cards there that my daughter wrote and dropped in the offering plate when she was first learning to print in either kindergarten or the first grade. And I have them with me because they do something for me. I'm glad to be able to look at them every day as I sit at my desk. And then I have a little printed item under that glass from a hymn. It's not a hymn that I came into early in my life, as I have with so many hymns, because I have a long background all of my life of singing hymns and loving the hymns of the faith. This one came to me more recently, but it has become, in at least its chorus, one of the most important hymns for me. So I have the words of the chorus there on my desk. Let me read them to you. I need no other argument. I need no other plea. It is enough that Jesus died and that he died for me. I don't know the author of that hymn. I could look it up, but it wasn't one of the famous authors or hymn writers. It is clearly a testimony of a soul who had struggled through some areas perhaps of doubt, some areas of being buffeted by Satan, not knowing what could be trusted, what could plead his case. And then he came up with this simple argument-ending statement. Because there are some things, that end the arguments. And the argument between him and hell was settled with this fact, that Jesus had died and that Jesus had died for him. And with that thought in mind, he said quite simply, I need no other argument. I need no other plea. It is enough that Jesus died and that he died for me. That for me is a terribly important phrase, of course. We can become too self-obsessed in our religion. I think that occasionally I hear popular songs, sometimes old hymns. More frequently, it seems to me, some of the contemporary songs that seem to feel that everything in the world centers down on this single soul. And there are times when one feels that way, but one's religion ought to get beyond that. But there is also a fact in this, that we need to be able to say that what is true in the Scriptures is not true simply in principle. It is not true simply in theology. It is true by one's own experience and by the grace of God that is at work in a person's life. And that's what this hymn writer had in mind when the hymn writer said that he was satisfied. It was enough that Jesus had died and that Jesus had died for him or her, whichever the case might have been. Because you see, the great facts of the gospel are universal facts. They are open to anybody, whosoever will may come. But there are times when you need to know that whosoever will is a line in which you can write your name, and that it is for you specifically that Christ died. And it is important at times when your soul is beleaguered by the problems of life or the struggles of life to be able to say, I know that the promises of God are real. I know that they can be taken hold of by anyone, but I know specifically that they are there for me and that I can claim them for myself. That is true above all else in the case of salvation. It is a wonder that Jesus died for the sins of the world. It is a lovely thing to know that he died for my sins, for your sins. So I leave you with this word that I look upon every workday when I look down at my desk. I need no other argument. I need no other plea. It is enough that Jesus died and that he died for me. That's what I'm thinking about today, and I hope it will help you when you think about it too. God bless.